Hello, I'm Joshua Hamlin, and today I'm going to show you how to make a simple spoke basket. I'm going to use this plant that's growing all over around me. I'm sure you guys recognize this. This is Virginia creeper. Very common, grows all over the forest floor, grows up trees, grows usually with poison ivy, which is also surrounding me, and grapevine, which is also surrounding me. You can make basket out of all of these. The first step to making a basket is we need runners. I'll grab my knife here. I'm sorry, not runners, we need spokes. So this thicker piece, this is going to be the spokes of the basket. We got to do some mathematics when making a basket. Because, I mean, it's very simple mathematics, but you cannot do an over-under weave and have an even number of spokes. You have to have an odd number. It's just, if you have an even number, then you'll be going over and under the same one each time. So you have to have an odd number. However, each one of these spokes equals 2 spokes because it's joined in the center and these are folded up. So we're going to have to multiply by 2 and then remove half. And I'll show you how to do that. Right now we have 2. I always start off with 5. I start off with 5 spokes. So we got 2 there. Another one here. Another one here. And remember what I was saying about when I start off with 5, it actually equals 10 because each one is 2. Let's find a good straight section. Okay, here we go. So what we do now is we make a cross. 2 going one way, 3 going another way. This is the beginning of a basket right here, a cross. Now we need a runner to hold it all in position. A thin piece, use your thinnest stuff for this beginning part. Because all this is basically doing is holding it to shape. So here we go, we've got a little thin one. And take our cross, hold it up here so you can see it. You take your runner, let's pull this little branch off. Stick it under, like so. Grab it with your thumb. Like so. This is a balancing act at first. This is a balancing act. Okay, so then you go over those 2, over those 3. I'm sorry, under those 2, over those 3. Like this. You remember making those like bird's eyes in Sunday school or whatever, out of popsicle sticks and yarn. That's basically what you're doing. You're just holding this together. You're just wrapping it around it until it holds together. Like so. Now it's holding together. We got a cross. There we go. A cross. Now we start spreading them. Slowly, or you don't want to break them. If you do break them, you can heal it. I mean, this is very forgiving. That's the thing. It's very forgiving. If you do snap it, you can just wrap it around a few times and it'll still hold into place. Okay. Now we need another runner. And we're going to start going over and under. But we have an even number. We have 10. We have to remove 1. Okay. I'm going to go. On your side it's over, on my side it's under this one. And I'm just going to hold that piece. That's the end piece. I'm just going to hold it until I get around once. Once I'm around once, it'll hold itself. You take this over, we're going to come over here, go under, over, under, over, under, over, spreading these out as I go, like this, over, under, over. Now we're back around to the same side, and if you notice, we're going over and under the same one. We have to remove one, like I was saying before. So let's do that. What we do is we just come in there. Now that it's all holding in place, we just carefully cut one off. Now we have an odd number. Now we can go over, under, all the way around, and we'll be good. Each time you're doing it, spread them out with your fingers. Spread them out with your fingers. They'll try and trick you. They'll try and swap places, try and trick you. if you miss it, you have to go back and figure out where you missed it. If you go over 2 and under 1, you have to go back and figure it out. So try not to. I always do, and I've made hundreds. As you go, you're going to decide what kind of bottom you want. Do you want a flat bottom? You know, or do you want a round bottom? I personally like round bottoms. I just think they look nice. So as I go along, I start pushing the branches up. You notice that one push don't keep them up there, but you do that over and over and over again, and you'll have a rounded basket, which is what I like. I like to put a little handle on them, make a rounded basket with a handle, and I'll show you how to do that, of course, too. Okay, we've come this far. This is about as far as I'm going. This is big enough to gather the raspberries that I'm going to go gather, or the mulberries. So, what we got to do is finish it off. I got all these extra things here. Some of them will be flexible enough to take and shove down. Here's how we do it. Some of them won't be long enough or won't be flexible enough, and we won't be able to do it with them, and I'll show you how to do that part. So what we do is we take, this is the piece I just cut off, we take it, fold it over, bend it down, and push it down into the spoke next to it, like so. Pushed it down in there. You see how it's pushed down in there? Okay, we still got a leaf on there. Then we come over to the next one, and we do the same thing. We fold it over, find the spot where it fits in next to the spoke, push it down in there along beside the spoke. Then we do the same with the next one. Helps to cut a point at the top. Take it, fold it over, try not to snap it, take it, fold it, push it down into the spoke next to it, like so. Shove it down next to one spoke, just like we did before, fold it over, shove it down next to the next spoke. Some of it will stick out on the inside, it's okay, we'll cut it off afterwards. Okay, then we'll take this one, bend it over, and I'm going to try not to snap this one. It's hard to do that with Virginia Creeper. We'll cut it shorter, fold it down, and tuck it in here. Tuck it down in there. Down in that spoke. Like so. Like so. Okay. This one we've already replaced. See, we've got spokes in there, so these two have already been replaced, so we can just cut these out. We can cut them down below the surface so they're not seeable. I'm not cutting, you got to be careful because you'll cut your basket. All I'm doing is nicking it and then breaking it. Just take this, stick it next to the spot where you're trying to cut, nick it, break it. Nick it, break it. Okay. We got one more. We need not real pretty, but it's good enough. I've got this little knobby piece sticking off here. Let's just nick it and break it. There we go. Now we have a basket. To make a handle, what we're going to do is just shove it down in one spoke, just like we did when we were fixing the edge. Fold it over and shove it down in another spoke. Now this is not a very strong handle, it's just shoved in there. To make this a functionable handle for any kind of weight whatsoever, you have to tie this. You can wrap vine around it and tie it in there really good and it'll work. But for carrying berries, that handle will do just fine. That's it, that's a quick basket, easy to make, and I'm going to use it to go gather some mulberries. Thanks, go make one.